want to say thank you so much for all of our subscribers. Our YouTube channel has been going crazy, and I want to express my gratitude and appreciation to everybody that tunes in, that shares, that likes, that gives you feedback, and all of those great things. We have so many things coming up, and we can't wait for you to be a part of it. We also have to give a special thanks to our sponsors and our community partners that continues to help us grow our platform and get out here and highlight what people are doing in the community. And again, as always, we have real, raw, and transparent conversations over wine, of course. And today, speaking of wine, I have a very special guest. She is, I don't even know what to say because she's so many things. She's an educator. She's a wine enthusiast. She's that girl in terms of wine, and I don't mean that lightly, and I'm not over-exaggerating because y'all know I'm just not going to do that. But we have Miss Monica Jones from right here in Houston, Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, she's a little shy. So
Yes.
That's because we haven't sipped our wine
Right.
yet, y'all, but that's okay.
That's it. I'll listen up a
That's
little
okay, but thank you so much for joining. The boots are given. The boots are given everything. We love when the girls can pull off a good look and just understand.
Very true.
Show up as you. So I am happy to have you here. And of course, she brought wine because that's just what a wine girl does. She brings wine. What did you bring today?
Today I brought a red wine. It's Black History Month.
Yes.
My brand is the Black Wineo, so if anything, I feel like I have a responsibility to just continue to bring awareness to Black-owned brands. So we have Maison Noir's wine, horseshoes and hand grenades. It's actually a blend, a red blend. So it's a Cabernet.
Such a red blend, girl.
Okay. So it's a Cabernet and Merlot blend from Oregon. I think it's really, really luxurious on the palate. Something that is very fruit forward, also very aromatic. It's got a little spice on it. And so I thought it'd be perfect to kind of share with you
all
today.
the things that I love. And she just gave y'all notes in case y'all are in your beginner level of wine. She just gave y'all the notes of what you would experience while tasting this wine. So I absolutely love Oregon. I went out there probably about 2 years ago. I did a cannabis and a wine tour where we focused on wellness, but we did pairings of the two just to kind of adjust the palates and introduce people to a different way to enjoy both, overlooking the scenery in Oregon. So it was top tier.
Yeah,
it was an experience like no other. I mean, the weather was beautiful, the vineyards were nice, and they had a huge variety of wine that I was like, okay. This is somewhere I would come back for no reason at all.
Oregon has some of the best wines. If you are a huge Pinot Noir fan or a Pinot Gris, honestly, I recommend starting there.
Okay, so I want to get into it. Yes. I want to get into it because you mentioned all of the notes, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, for me, I always love to smell my wine first. Again, I've let it sit out since I had this wine from yesterday. But it's sat out for at least an hour or so, allowing the wine to kind of aerate. So you'll get the full expression from the bottle here in your glass. And so I just normally sniff here, get a good aroma in the nose.
And you smell everything.
Yes, absolutely. It's got some oak on it, a little spice as well, like I mentioned. And let's just cheers.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoy it.
I smacked so loud. So that is actually really good. I just came back I spent 2 weeks in Spain, and I saw that you went.
Yes.
And then I went to Colorado, France as well. Some of the best wine I've ever had.
I'm not going to lie.
Some of the best wine I've ever had. I'm talking about quality.
Yeah, the Euro leg, I mean, I feel like if you go there, you're going to experience some of the best wines.
Yes.
The old world where most wines kind of derive from France, Italy. You're going Spain as well. You're going to definitely come into some high quality, very, very cru and reserve type wines.
Yes.
And then at a really affordable price.
That was the kicker.
Yeah.
Some of the top quality wines that was, natural, completely organic, all of that were, I'm talking about, I don't want to say dirt cheap, but for one glass of wine that I would get in the States, I could get a bottle over here. here.
Absolutely. I think I had like a slice of pizza and a glass of wine for like $4 over there in Spain. And I was just like, do I have to leave this place?
Y'all know how I feel about Spain. So Spain is my love. I'm actually planning to move there.
That's awesome. I'm
going
going to visit.
Please do. But I truly enjoyed the entire process. I had never been to a vineyard that was family owned where they actually show you the entire process from start to finish. I feel like most vineyards that I've gone to, they give you a little bit here, a little bit there, but it's
always a cute.
That's it. It's very cute. You do this, you do that, but they showed us the entire aging process. We got to see some vines that were like a few months old, some were that close to 100 years old. They took us through the entire process, and it just made me feel like really, really good about my relationship with wine, my experience, and just the family overall, for them just being so open and wanting to educate people on it. And I think you stand in the gap in terms of the wine industry and Black people. It's Black History Month. You stand in that gap, but I feel like a lot of times we are experiencing wine and not necessarily being properly educated on wine.
Correct. I just think there are a lot of reasons that is so, just because the accessibility in wine, it's an intimidating industry. It's proven to be exclusive, and they actually make it that way on purpose. Because they don't want certain people drinking the wine, or they feel as if you don't have the income to afford to drink the higher quality and more pricier bottles.
They have bottles that go up to
hundreds, thousands.
I was going to say, I enjoyed a wine that had to be about maybe 4 years ago. The bottle itself was about $8,000.
Yeah, I can believe it. They get pretty.
And in my mind, I was like, oh, it was great. But now I won't be buying.
Right, you would never probably spend that much. But yeah, there are bottles that are truly made to be inaccessible to people who are Black and brown. And so I do hope to just really provide an avenue, also the education to accompany the confidence in being your own wine enthusiast, being a wine expert at whatever level it is that you want. If it's just strictly consumer, if you then want to take that and become an educator yourself, I hope my journey continues to inspire someone to just drink more wine, if anything.
Right, because I'm truly inspired. So I've been a wine connoisseur for quite some time, and here as of recently, I decided to completely give up alcohol and just be really tuned in, like, with my wine and champagne journey. And I do have goals to, like, really, deep dive into it and really bridge the gap for people, especially my dealings with cannabis and wine. It's a great pairing. The education that I provide to people in terms of how to properly consume and just create a scenery for themselves, an experience for themselves that is exclusive and is personal and is intimate and all these things. How do you think your approach to bridging the gap for, like, Black people in terms of wine, whether they're consumers or educators, how do you think that has, like, impacted the culture?
Well, I think that people need to see someone do it so they know that they are able to. So I do pride myself on inspiring others who look like me, providing opportunities to just get up close personal with the wine in a, less intimidating scenario than a tasting room or winery. Because when I've experienced those, I felt like people were talking down to me, or I couldn't really, just really comprehend the information. And I think that is one of the reasons why you have people who feel like wine isn't for them. And so I love to meet people where they are. That's about literally what my brand is about. Is just meeting
how
people
do we
where
get
they
them
are.
away from the Moscato?
The Moscato. See,
and let me be clear. Let me be clear, because we listen and we don't judge.
We don't.
I'm not saying that Moscato is a bad choice. I'm simply saying it's not the only option out there. And if you extend your palate and allow yourself to have more of an experience, you may not even desire, the taste for a Moscato.
Yeah, I think it's truly, I don't consider myself to be a wine snob. So I do love people who explore whatever it is they like. I encourage it. But then I also try and suggest alternatives. So if you are a Moscato drinker, please maybe try a Moscato D'Asti that has a little bit of effervescence and sparkle in it.
Or try other maybe dessert wines.
Other dessert wines.
Sweetness. Exactly. And then say, I prefer Moscato.
And that is true, because a Riesling is also a really good Gewürztraminer. There's so many other dry white wines and off-dry white wines that compare to a Moscato. And then, like you said, going a fortified or dessert wine option. Moscato Giallo is another one that I think is a higher quality than regular, big bottle brand Moscatos. But again, do what you like, start somewhere. I feel like, again, it is.
Don't cheat yourself of the experience. And that is what I'm getting to.
Yeah, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. That's what wine is about. It's about drinking all the wines, deciding you're not a champagne girly and you're more of a red blend.
And I'm such a champagne girly.
I'm a rosé.
Line me up with champagne and a red blend. And you got me.
And I'm a champagne sparkling girl. Those are my things. People say it gives them headaches. More for me.
Yeah, please.
That's all I like. So again, it's just finding your palate, what works for you and your preference. And so if you have to drink all the Moscatos in the world, I suggest you do that.
At least you can say, I've tried them all. I'm going with this one right here. I'm going to call them names, but I'm going with this one right here. And that's okay. I just feel like it's more of an experience, and it's become that for me, like as I've gotten older, as I've had the opportunity to indulge a bit more, it's become so much more about the experience, so much more about the history, the culture, as I'm being able to learn and be knowledgeable about the process, or even learn about this particular brand. Like it's become so much more about that for me. So it makes me want to try like others. Like I'm truly intrigued. Like, okay, y'all said that was aged for how? Okay, well, let me taste that.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what has helped my journey is just finding an appreciation for what the winemakers are doing. Yeah. Whether they're old or new, there are a lot of classic techniques and traditions that still are producing quality wines. And then you have what I like to call the disruptors who are new to the wine industry, who are
shaking
doing these incredible things in the vines. And so I consider myself to be someone like that, someone who is trying to use their voice and their platform to create more awareness for what Black consumers and wine enthusiasts, Black and brown, are drinking and what they're buying. And so as long as I can use my voice and platform with my work, I think that's truly how I'm continuing to bridge the gap.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. And I think when you really learn what the entire process entails of winemaking, you have a much greater appreciation for not just companies overall, but Black companies in particular, because sometimes resources are a little bit more far-fetched. Capital, capital is sometimes it's not as accessible, in terms of Black business owners or Black winemakers. So you come to have this appreciation for the process, for the dedication, for the commitment, and don't let it be a good tasting wine.
Right.
Because that means they went in there a few times and said, no, we got to redo this formula. Exactly. And even understanding how seasons impact, the harvest, just as it does for our farmers in other areas. I couldn't imagine thinking I'm gonna have a great harvest and then the season affects it in some kind of way. It's growing pains in this process. So just being able to show up for more Black wine owners and Black winemakers has been a focus for me, and even people like yourself that's bridging the gap and bringing awareness and highlighting it. It just brings joy to my life, because one thing I can do is have a glass of wine.
Absolutely. And you made a good point. There's only, I think, still maybe 1% of Black-owned wine brands in the market. And so when people are talking about the 1%, I just think, we still have so much more work to do. So however I can continue to do my part, and then also encourage other people by seeing what I'm doing, that is literally why I'm here, because I also had help. You know, I didn't do this on my own. This journey is God given to me. It's all purpose driven, but I've definitely had help along the way.
Yeah. And I think it's important, and I'm glad you touched on that. Like, nothing great or nothing of God can be done by one person alone. And if it's something that you could do by yourself, then it probably wasn't a God thing.
That's true. That's very true.
That's how you fact check, right? It's like, well, I can't find my purpose. Well, if it's totally just you, 9 times out of 10 is not a God thing. But I wanted to ask you, how did you get into wine? What inspired you? Like, who inspired you? What was that thing that said, you know what, Monica? This is the thing. And how did you become the Black Wineo?
Right. So I love this story because I've always been a wine girly. Like even before, like right when I turned 21, I had a wine cabinet. I invite my friends over, and every time somebody comes over,
she had the core. Yes, very early.
And my friends can tell you, I would be like, hey, y'all bring a bottle to the house for me to have, so I'll put it in the cabinet, and then we'll bring one to drink. And so I just kind of even got started drinking table wine and Moscatos and Rieslings. I started in that area. I was also working as a lifestyle blogger for a while, so I would go out to a lot of like launches or premieres that the newspaper would send me on. And so just getting out there and seeing that I was one of like the only Black women in the room. And I started thinking to myself, well, I like wine. Like I know other people who look like me also who love wine. Right. And so it really is out of curiosity, like you just spoke of, the desire to want to know more, to learn. So I just really took it upon myself to do some Googles, girl. And I was like, who is Black in wine? Because I need to be, you know, I need to find them. I need to figure out who is my new mentor. I found a woman here. I reached out in Houston. I forgot her. I think it was something taste, exclusive taste or something like that. Reached out to her and I never heard anything back. So I didn't get discouraged. I kept doing my own thing. Yes, I was like, okay, moving on.
Somebody gonna respond to me.
I figured out, okay, girl, you gotta like, you can't just drink wine. You gotta go like get educated about wine. Like,
let me tell her that I didn't try them all, so I know everything.
Yeah, they're like, okay, you know, in order for people in this industry to take you serious, also for you to go a little bit further than just beyond the glass, you have to educate yourself on the terroirs in different regions, the winemaking techniques. So I was like, okay, they have this thing called the Wine Spirit Education Trust. I figured I needed to go that route. I saw everybody had one. I was like, okay, this is what I need to do. Something told me, chill, hold on. The pandemic rolls around. I think in 2019, this gave me an opportunity to get my first certification. Instead of going the WSET route, I decided to get a concentration certification, which is just region specific. So I was like, I'm going to start right here in my own backyard. Like I love going out to Fredericksburg all the time for my birthday. I had in this same room where I discovered I was one of only Black women, a brand out of Fredericksburg or High Texas came out to show us a new product. The winemaker, he was so cool, so down to earth. He was so excited and passionate about Texas wines, and his passion stuck with me throughout my research. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to go get certified as a Texas wine specialist.
I know that's right.
Something that people weren't doing at the time. And I said, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I need to start in my own backyard. And so figuring out that there were similarities to another old world region, like the Rhone Valley in France, it kind of went hand in hand with what I needed to learn anyway. So I took that route based off curiosity. It's just going out.
You just gotta say, I'm just gonna try it.
I'm just gonna try it. I'm just gonna
They gonna either tell me no or escort me out the back, and I'm okay with either one.
And that truly is. So I saw a need or lack of representation through a wine launch. A premiere was for the brand William Chris Vineyards out in Texas, and I'm still really good friends with the owner and love all their wines, and they are a part of my story.
I love that. I love that. What advice would you give someone that is looking to maybe follow in your footsteps or a similar path? Because I initially was going the WSCT route, and I was up for level 2.
Nice.
Applied for some grants to get into some schools that were local, and I wasn't approved for the grant. So I didn't get discouraged. I was just like, okay, God, what do you want me to do right now? Order my steps. And so I started building like Uncorked and became the cork connoisseur. And I started just working with a lot of wineries and like wine brands and doing my yoga and wine tasting and things like that. So now I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, I would like to get more involved in the wine culture beyond like the yoga mats and things like that. So what advice would you give?
I mean, just really doing your research, also finding support in your community. I feel like I didn't have that support when I first started, so it then was me going to seek it out, finding other people who look like me in this industry, because we're out here. Like I said, even though there is a small percentage of us, we are strong and mighty.
Absolutely.
And then most likely people are willing to help you. You just have to ask.
Yeah.
I've got on phone calls with people who wanted to go and do harvest. I gave them my experience, trying to prepare them. I've sat down and had just, one-on-ones with people trying to give advice, whether it's even helping people study for these exams.
They no joke.
Yes,
they no joke.
Having someone who's gone through it is definitely a mentor is so important. Organizations like the Roots Fund, also Wine Unify are out there and exist to help individuals like ourselves just further their education and journey in wine. So if you can reach out to any of those to get support, I definitely recommend. They are super helpful and have been very helpful to my journey. Because like I said, I couldn't have done it without them and the support of friends, family, strangers.
All of it. Everybody.
And just most importantly, myself. I give a lot of credit to a lot of people, but I'm also doing the work.
And you're hitting like boots on the ground, making it happen.
I'm doing the work, and I don't give myself a lot of credit. That's something I'm very humble, and that's something that's been a secret success to my journey. It's just being who I am.
Don't be too humble that you miss the blessing in all of it.
So I'm trying to stay somewhere in the middle. Right. I'm trying to stay somewhere in the middle because I know there's more work to do. So that's how I'm
I feel like I struggled with that, and sometimes I still struggle with that because we will hide behind our humbleness, and sometimes we hide behind it entirely too much to where, like, sometimes for me personally, I feel like I show my praise to God by letting people feel and see like what He's done, because maybe if only you knew where He brought me from. If only you knew where I've been to even be here. And sometimes we get so caught up in what I gotta do next, like what I'm accomplishing next. That was cool, but I'm going bigger. Like, the rodeo is nice, but Super Bowl is next. Okay.
She's literally in my head because that's really what I be thinking.
Super Bowl is next, and then we're going to the Open. We're gonna be, in another continent. And I think sometimes we have to take our boots off, plant our feet into the ground, and really allow ourselves to like be exactly where we are in that moment, because I want to inspire people. I'm inspired. I'm a fan, and I'm not too prideful to say that. I think it's important, like you said, to see someone that look like you doing something you want to do, or have done something you want to do, and trying to better understand like what was the process, because people only see the events and they only see the flyers and they only see the partnerships and the sponsors. And they don't understand that, child. You don't even know what fires I put out this morning.
This is 5 years happen.
And it may be 10 years to just even get those 5 years, and people have no idea. And I think it's important sometimes that we share that part, because we often sometimes have the illusion that they're able to reach an area that I'm not, because their process was like flawless and seamless and all of that. So
and it definitely was not overnight.
The process will turn you every which way but loose.
Oh my goodness. So, like, trust me, I have had to stay mentally safe and just continue to be determined, not wanting to give up, and just having something to prove to myself. Because I don't want to Right. That's the easy thing to do.
Absolutely.
Is say you're gonna.
And then you be sitting there, now why the hell I do that?
Right, yeah.
Now I got another great idea and I'm ready to jump in. Sometimes you just gotta take a moment, reel it back and be like, whew, okay, maybe I just need a day. Maybe I just need a minute.
And I'm a Libra, honey, so I'm dramatic. I will be like,
So, you have quite a few things coming up this season, which I'm excited about. Tell us about that.
Well, I know this. I feel like this is the busiest time of year. Yeah. We have rodeo season coming up, and I am a part of the rodeo. I'm just a rodeo wine judge.
No. See, I don't even like the way she said. Wait a minute,
because I try not to make it.
No. Go back. No.
But the rodeo competition, there is a international wine competition. It's been around for 22 years, and I am the youngest. The youngest.
Because you said just, and I didn't really like it.
Right. I am just like, hold on.
Yeah, I didn't really like just. No, you are the.
I'm the youngest Black woman on the judging panel as of last year, and I say that young, and I'm 40 years old, and that should tell you that there is a lot of work to be done. There's just a handful of us, mostly women, and I think maybe 2 men who are Black, and of course there are a couple of brown folks out there, but we need more of us. I thought this was one of the things that I have worked for my wine career for, just because I know how well respected the wine competition is.
Absolutely.
So it's truly an honor for me to be a part and just contribute to the rodeo's mission, which is raising funds for youth scholarships every year. And to date, they've raised, I think, over like $620-something million, which is crazy. And a lot of people don't know that the winery relations and wine events is what makes up a lot of the money each year.
Because I would have never known that.
Yeah, no, it is.
These are the things we need to know, y'all.
Wine is a big business for the rodeo. They have about 4 events every year, an auction. They have a best fights competition, and then of course the champion wine garden as well. And so every day of the rodeo, you can come out, sip some of the wines that we judge during the competition that has been award winning, and I'm excited to do a couple of events there. This year, I'll be doing something on March 7th. I had to think about the day. March 7th.
Because it's on my calendar.
I'm like, March 7th at the Bumpy's.
And if y'all see me in the same outfit, mind y'all business.
Listen, we're going to do some research for this rodeo thing.
We recycle some pieces. Okay.
So March 7th for Bumpy's Bonanza, we'll do just like a happy hour pregame kickoff, you know, just again to bring more attention to the rodeo wine competition, my involvement, and then to like create space for us. Like the rodeo and Black history is cowboy culture, and so why not have us on the forefront and celebrating like everyone else?
And sometimes people are not even aware of these pieces of the rodeo. I learned about it last year when I saw that you were a part of it. And this year I was like, okay, I know she usually has something with the rodeo. I need to see what's going on, but I never knew before last year that there was a wine aspect to the rodeo. Even growing up, like, we never heard about it.
Yeah, and that's a part of the exclusivity is that, you know, people, if you aren't aware, if you aren't a huge wine lover or enthusiast, it may go unnoticed. So I'm just doing my part to tell
she go with that just,
I feel like, again, it's my responsibility being a part of it to tell people and bring awareness. So I'm so grateful to Kroger, who has been my community partner for a couple of years now. They understand what I'm trying to do here in the community, and they're just a huge supporter of trying to create that space for Black and brown consumers. So I'm excited to do it all over again this year. Welcome more people. We'll have it in store on February 26th to close out Black History Month. I have a couple of Black-owned wines on the wine list that we'll do in store. We'll have, you know, a photo booth, some fun, and I'm excited about it.
I'm
excited to make it.
Listen, what did I say? I need to be at all of them. I need to be at all of them. How can people find more information or like go about getting tickets to some of the things you have coming up?
Just my website, theblackWineo.com, my Instagram also, which is the Black Wino. It's EO. that is the best place. All of the ticket information and just subscribe is kind of my suggestion for everyone. My subscribers are my supporters and longtime friends of wine. And so that's who gets all the information first and ticket opportunities. So subscribe.
Where to next for Monica? Beyond Texas, beyond the glass. Where to next?
Right. I think it's probably visiting you in Spain.
Girl almost got us when he looked into the mood.
I definitely plan on doing an international harvest soon. Yeah. That is like the next step for me. It's just, again, putting viticulture and wine education, more emphasis on winemaking and techniques. And hopefully get to share that with more people. I want to do more things in the Houston community for wine lovers. And I'm just excited for the future.
I love that. So, of course, we have this thing at the end of every episode. It happened, now what? We always ask our guests to just kind of share with us something that they either need to take action on, that they've received clarity and confirmation on, something they procrastinated on, because we do that sometimes, and now need to take action on. What is that it happened, now what thing for Monica?
I would say just realizing that I can't do this on my own, meaning I need a team at this point. And I've been doing this on my own for a while. I'm at the point where I've realized in order to truly be great and go to the heights that I see for myself in this industry, I have to surround myself with other people who get the business and who also are just as eager as me and passionate. So that's my next step, is surrounding myself with people who enhance my skills, my business skills, my creative skills, and being able to pay them. Like, that's what I've always wanted to do. And I'm doing that now.
Or have people that's willing to serve, because even what I'm learning in this journey is that the monetary payout is not always the greatest payout.
Yeah, and that's true. I've done things for free, but I love to pay people for their talents, their skills, their knowledge. I just think that's how the world should be. But, that's it. It happened. I decided that I am not going to be as good without support around me.
Because you cannot do it
on you cannot do it on your own. And that's me humbling myself, my ego, to know that
it's still your assignment. There's just a few people assigned to assisting you.
Absolutely.
Well, I have truly enjoyed this episode. I'm grateful for you coming out, and I'm definitely going to be hitting you up. I'm always in a space to serve, willing to learn, and I'm trying to be a mentee at this point. I'm trying to be a mentee, and I look forward to being at your upcoming event. So thank you so much for joining me today. It has been another episode of Uncorked Conversations with your host, Sunny. We've had our lovely guest, the Black Wineo, Miss Monica Jones. Again, we want to thank all of our community partners and our sponsors. If you are looking to partner with Uncorked Conversations in any way, don't be afraid. Just reach out, contact us. We look forward to connecting with you, seeing what you are doing in the community, how you're showing up for people. And as always, have you a glass of wine. You don't even need a reason.
Love this.